Today's story is one of the most overlooked cases I've ever covered. There are no graphic images or footage in this video, but some parts of the story may be disturbing. For that reason, viewer discretion is advised. And before we dive in, if this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future uploads. Now let's get into the story. In 2003, Michael Tanner walked into a courtroom expecting justice. What he didn't know was that the next 17 years of his life would be spent behind bars for a crime he didn't commit. He lost his freedom, his family, and nearly all hope. Until one small piece of evidence surfaced that would shock everyone. Michael grew up in a quiet suburban town in Ohio. He worked at a hardware store. He loved fishing on weekends. He spent time with his younger sister, Claire. People described him as calm, trustworthy, dependable. There was nothing at all that suggested he could commit a crime. But one rainy November night in 2002, everything changed. A local jewelry store was broken into. Thousands of dollars stolen. Security cameras captured a masked figure. Fingerprints were left behind. The police investigation was fast, but flawed. In the chaos, Michael was identified as the prime suspect. He had no criminal record, no motive, no reason to be there. Yet a witness said they saw someone like him near the store. Despite his protests, despite his pleas, he was convicted and sentenced to 17 years in prison. Life behind bars was grueling. The routines, the isolation, the constant fear of violence, it crushed many men. But Michael never gave up hope. Every week he wrote letters to his lawyer, carefully reviewing every detail, every document, every mistake in his case. He knew somewhere the truth was buried. Outside the prison walls, his sister Claire refused to give up. She contacted journalists, private investigators, even local politicians. Every lead seemed to vanish. Until one day, a retired officer reached out. He told Claire he had found something curious, a set of fingerprints on a window frame at the jewelry store that had never been matched in the original investigation. It was a small detail, almost invisible, but it could change everything. The fingerprints were sent to a new forensic lab. With updated technology, they matched a man who had a record of similar burglaries in neighboring counties. He had confessed to other crimes, but this connection had never been made back in 2002. Finally, the pieces fit together. Michael had spent 17 years paying for a crime he didn't commit. The court reopened the case, witness testimonies were reevaluated, the jury was presented with undeniable evidence proving his innocence. On a chilly February morning in 2020, Michael Tanner walked out of the courthouse, a free man for the first time in 17 years. His first breath of freedom tasted sweeter than anything he had imagined. But freedom came with its own weight. Friends had moved on, family relationships strained, and the world outside had changed dramatically. Michael's story is not just about justice delayed, it's about resilience, it's about hope. He went on to speak publicly about wrongful convictions and became an advocate for criminal justice reform. Yet there's a haunting thought he carries. How many others are still behind bars for crimes they didn't commit? How many small pieces of evidence could change a life if only someone noticed them? If you were in Michael's shoes, would you have given up hope? And what do you think about the role of evidence witnesses and chance injustice? Comment your thoughts below, and if you know a story of someone who was wrongly convicted, share it with us.